Look, chat. Look. Hi. Good evening. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's afternoon. It's after evening somewhere in the world. It's also afternoon everywhere at some point. So, hi. How's it going? Vinny, have you had lunch? I eat like a lunch breakfast thing. And yeah, no, by now I've eaten. I've eaten. Real quick, before we begin the stream, I'm going to play more of that Zelda Hero of Law and then Mario again. So we're going to finish up some Sunday stream stuff. But this happened. Kind of perfect music. But yeah, Microsoft is closing down Xbox Studio, the initiative, with Perfect Dark killed as well, joining Everwild and ZeniMax's new IP. So Perfect Dark dead before we even got to see very much of it. So this was one of the Perfect Dark promo images, and this was Everwild, which just kind of, I don't even know. I may have seen this at some point, I just don't remember. A lot of things kind of end up blending into each other when you see so many game showcases. But I'll be honest, the Perfect Dark game never felt real to me. Like, it just never felt like it was going to actually come out. And I wasn't even that excited for it. I feel like Perfect Dark is a very specific thing. I've never played Perfect Dark Zero. It's only that one game on the N64, which was very similar to GoldenEye. And it had the right combination of people at Rare. And I feel like Perfect Dark is such a weird case of, like, comedy and, like, future and alien and, you know, serious and X-Files and, you know, just really just weird. It's hard to reproduce that. And I feel like if you're going to go super, like, edgy with it, it's just not going to work. And I'm not sure what they were doing. But I know I've seen the reveal, and I know I saw gameplay at some point. I don't even remember what it looked like. But it says here, I think Phil... Maybe Phil didn't say this. Let's see. Someone said this, so I'm going to read this. Following Phil's note, I want to share more about the changes to the studio's business unit. So, we have made the decision to stop development of Perfect Dark and Everwild, as well as wind down several unannounced projects across our portfolio. As part of this, we're closing one of our studios, The Initiative. These decisions, along with other changes across our teams, reflect a broader effort to adjust priorities and focus resources to set up our teams for greater success within a changing industry landscape. Game Pass, anyone? We did not make these choices lightly, as each project and team represents years of effort, imagination, and commitment. Our overall portfolio strategy is unchanged: build games that excite our players. Ugh, corpo speak. Continue to grow our biggest franchises and create new stories, worlds, and characters. We have more than 40 projects in active development, continued momentum on titles shipping this fall, and strong slate headed into 2026. For those directly affected, we're working closely with HR and studio leadership to provide support, including severance, career transition assistance, and, where possible, opportunities to explore roles on other teams. To everyone across our studios, thank you. Your creativity and resilience continue to define who we are. I believe in the strength of our teams and the direction we're taking on the path ahead. Matt Booty. Well, there you go. There's your first problem. This guy's name is Booty. No, there's some stuff here that is interesting to me. One is it's just corpo speak for we are cutting costs. Our bottom line is looking a little grim, so we have to kind of get rid of some stuff. I'm thinking Perfect Dark was never coming together. I'm thinking that people didn't know what to do with it. I mean, you could just slap Joanna Dark and aliens into a game, and it doesn't mean it's a Perfect Dark game. I'm thinking Microsoft is in a little bit worse shape than they're letting on. They don't reveal sales numbers. I don't think their Xboxes are selling particularly well right now. I don't know anyone in my life personally that has an Xbox of this generation. So, and again, like, I get it. They're doing Game Pass, which is also a good thing and kind of a bad thing. But that's a whole other conversation that I'm not really that well versed on. It's a good thing for consumers mostly, but then it also kind of means it's harder for developers to make their money. So I'm wondering, you know, if they're going to lean into that and just have their games be a subscription service, and that's Xbox, quote unquote. You know, they're going to have that handheld. It's just going to be PC gaming, and they'll support their console until the next generation, and then they just drop out. I think more competition's good in the industry, but I also feel like Nintendo and PlayStation are on two separate paths anyway, and it was for a while kind of Microsoft versus Sony. I hate to say versus, but let's be real, that's kind of what happens when you're buying exclusives. So, I don't know. I mean, Rare ended up going to Microsoft. Microsoft did almost nothing of value or significance with them. And now Perfect Dark gets a game that was in development for like, what, 4 years since announcement? And it's just gone. So, you know, I'm not going to say I'm some kind of Microsoft hater, because I had an Xbox 360, I have an Xbox One. I don't care. I enjoyed their consoles just fine. But there's not much to keep you excited about a thing when everything's coming out on other stuff. Or these consoles end up being $500, $600. And then you buy one and it's like, nope, Pro model's out. Okay, now we're in the next generation. Also, your computer can play all this stuff. So it's just hard to get excited. It's hard to feel like, what's the point? I got a 360 because of Gears of War, because of Halo, and because my friends were using it to play their multiplayer. And now that's not the case anymore. This is why Nintendo is king. Well, let's not call them king, because then when they're king, they start taking advantage of consumers a bit. They're doing their own thing, for better or worse. They're doing just fine. They're selling plenty of units. They don't have anything to worry about right now. But there's only one game for their new system. So, you know, let's not start playing fanboy wars, because you know what happens? When we support... This is what I've observed in the past, 30 years or whatever. However you feel about this, take it, with a grain of salt. But I feel like when the console that you love wins, that can be rough too. You don't want it to fail, but you also don't want it to be so successful that they could just do whatever they want. Because whatever they want means less value for you. So, you hope that the people over at Nintendo are gonna be focused on creativity and just making good games, despite raking in billions of dollars doing kind of not much anything really special. I like Mario Kart World, it's fine, but then, is it worth the $80 and a new console? I don't know. I still don't think it kind of is, actually, so... But when it comes to Xbox, just to kind of end what I was saying here, I'm a big Perfect Dark fan. It is one of my favorite games. And this never felt real. So it sucks that it happened. I hope people land on their feet. I hope that Microsoft has some kind of strategy. But, it's mainly the developers that get hurt. And, the people that are looking for jobs. I hope they find ways to get some jobs. Shit sucks. That was the wrong music to deliver that speech, by the way. I hope everyone lands on their feet. Cue the clown music.